Easily my favourite videos to record in Stellaris are the first full playthroughs of a brand new DLC, and that's exactly what we're doing today. Welcome to the Machine Age, welcome to the new version of Becoming the Endgame Crisis, and welcome to the new version of the Synthetic Ascension. Today we are going to become holograms, and we're going to end the galaxy through changing the very laws of physics itself. So with the new DLC, there are now two separate ways to end the galaxy yourself. The first of all is the old way, breaching into the Shroud and taking the rest of the galaxy with it, and now the second way, changing the laws of physics, trying to create a new universe, and ultimately, I'm not entirely sure what happens at the very end. I've stayed mostly spoiler-free, but it seems incredibly fun and somewhat amoral in comparison to the other way, which is more strictly evil. This way, it is a pursuit of knowledge at all costs, going to a true extreme, and that's exactly what this Empire is all about. We are the continuation, the machine counterpart of organics, which have sadly passed away after the over-exploitation of their world. We have the Arc Welders origin, one of the brand new origins, and this is adding, well, quite a lot actually. So to begin with, we do have a couple of negatives. We have -3 to our initial populations, and the size of our homeworld is only 15, which is absolutely tiny. However, we do have +1 to our megastructure build capacity, so yay for more megastructures, and +1 to the arc furnace capacity. Now, this is important because we actually start off with one of these. This is a new megastructure. It will add minerals to every single moon, planet, and asteroid in the system, and eventually, when you upgrade it enough, it will also add alloys at the cost of quite a lot of energy. In addition to all of this, our homeworld is incredibly barren. It has no mining districts, however, it has additional generator districts. So the idea I'm going with here, for the lore at least, is that our species here is the machine equivalent of the organics which once lived on this world, which simply couldn't survive the over-exploitation of the world. For once, we didn't kill them. They kind of just did it themselves. And that's where our empire begins. We are the continuation of the work of our organic predecessors, because we believe in what they believed, which is the endless acquisition of knowledge at any cost. So we are fanatic materialist, we are authoritarian, and of course, we are actually machines. We have the machine trait, because now you can be individualistic machines, rather than being forced to being the machine intelligence. So we do need consumer goods, and we do produce trade value. Now, as for the build, I've gone for a very general purpose build. In fact, that's the reason I went down the route of authoritarian, because I want that extra influence. So with civics, we have rapid replicators, which is additional pop assembly speed. We have masterful crafters for more consumer goods, more building slots, more trade value. It just works with every single build. And then as for our traits, we have mass-produced, even faster build speed of our population, so a full 35% increase total. We have research assistance for an additional little bit of extra research. And then the new trait, which is adaptive frames. Now, adaptive frames seems absolutely amazing. Depending on the job your pop is working, they will change this trait. So adaptive frames can become additional amenities, extra energy, food, minerals, research, all of that stuff, just based on the job the population is working, as long as they're working for long enough. And I believe you can increase how fast these swap later on with different buildings, though I haven't yet tested that out. I'm really hoping this is good, because it seems to be that kind of trait which removes so much headache. And of course, our new ship appearance is the brand new machine ships, which I think is going to be absolutely awesome. So with all of that, let's get into the game. Now, I was going to spawn the Synthetic Queen, however, since we are going to be ending the galaxy anyway before they spawn in, I'll be doing a run completely focused on the worship of our queen in the future. But for now, just random, doesn't really matter too much. Mid-game is set to 2,250, end-game a little bit later than I normally do, since I want to really focus on the endgame crisis ourselves. We have difficulty Grand Admiral, mid-game scaling as usual, with the mid-game being very early, and everything else is as it is. So with that, let's get started. And so we begin in the very outskirts of the galaxy, next to quite a few worlds. Arid and tropical, and desert and ocean. Now sadly, machine empires don't work in the same way they used to. Rather than 100% habitability, they get plus 50% to their minimum habitability. So I could potentially grab the tropical and ocean, though I probably won't. So then, let's take a quick look-see at our new megastructure, the arc furnace. And there it is. Giving +1 mineral to every planet, moon and asteroid in our system. Let's have a proper look at this thing. Yeah, once again, a lot of gigastructural engineering vibes, which is not a bad thing at all. Definitely my favourite mod, and definitely loving seeing stuff like this in the game itself. I'll be using these probably as much as I can, though probably not in every single system, since it does have a hefty energy upkeep, which I can only imagine, yep, increases as we make it bigger. So, probably in very big systems like this is a trinary star system, stuff like this and bigger, probably gonna be using it. So these are the 3 ways you can now become synthetic with the DLC with a machine empire. Again, I'll need to look into regular empires if this is the same or different, but for now, this is what we have available. We have modularity, which is far more like regular synthetics. You're simply improving your people, making them cheaper, and giving them advanced traits, in addition to the synthetic trait for your leaders. Overall, it is really nice. Loads of extra stability, loads of extra assembly, way too many modification points, plus 4 trait pick points and modification points, so you can have pretty much anything you want by the looks of things. Honestly, it looks really strong, if a bit more basic in comparison to the madness that is virtuality and nanotech. Virtuality, I've tried to explain now 4 separate times, and each time have failed to do so within 3 or 4 minutes. So very quickly, virtuality completely changes how the game works. It is easily the most insane tradition tree I've ever seen, and how it works is that you no longer have traditional populations, you have virtual populations. These virtual populations will pop into existence when you have jobs, and then vanish again when you no longer have those jobs available. No matter how many jobs you have, you will always have populations working. You no longer need to make these populations, which is insanely powerful. On top of that, they get a plus 175% output. However, with a minus 25% for every world you have, and a plus 100% empire size modifier for each world, this is all to do with having a few very, very powerful planets. I'm thinking ring worlds, I'm thinking the Arcology Project, stuff like that. And you also do get a lot of other bonuses. You have different policies, which will increase the output drastically of very specific things, such as Unity, Research, or Leaders, and then you also get additional jobs, like clerks, bureaucrats, and researchers from different districts and buildings, so your worlds will be incredibly efficient. You just have to have very, very few of them. And I've got to be honest, I don't think this fits the theme of the empire I'm trying to build today. And finally, we have nanomachines, son. The nanotech tradition tree I think fits the Empire better than any of the others, and honestly, it just seems the most fun with my particular playstyle. The Empire size is reduced, we have the ability to subsume worlds, we have a new ship type with the Nanite Swarmer, I have no idea what that's like, we get Nanite deposits, just loads and loads of different options, which I think is going to be incredibly fun, in addition to Nanite research facilities, whatever those are, Nanite harvesters, and finally, some Nanite-related edicts. All of this is brand new to me, I have no idea how any of it works, and I think it fits the theme incredibly well. Maybe it's just my background in pathology and microbiology, but I love the idea of nanomachines causing all of these problems. Nothing screams the hubris of man and creating technology out of our control than something which mimics a disease, and this just... it's all the right kind of nightmares that makes the brain happy, you know?
We've got augmentations that haven't even hit the black market yet. Safety tests are for cowards. Let's get you wired.
Okay, we're changing our advisor to the new one. Okay, it's hinting that we should build a brand new forge in this system. Oh, I can see why. Look at all those asteroids. So each of these will end up with minerals. Okay then, as soon as we grab the system, that's what we're going to build. How much does a new one cost? I remember it being quite expensive. No, nowhere near as much as I thought. For some reason I thought 1,000 alloys. As you can tell, I did like a minor bit of testing with a few different build ideas. Apparently not paying enough attention. Oh, interesting. Machine template system now also increases our leader lifespan. Yay for robots. Hey everyone, Future Lathrix here, as is tradition with these 4 playthroughs, just here to quickly say I think this may have been my favourite day 1 experience of a DLC in years. This DLC has added so much stuff I really wanted, and we ended up going with a build which was just so incredibly fun, with the nanites and the different options with the Synaptic lathe and the Crisis. It is a combination which was just so enjoyable to use, and you'll see throughout the run, although I do make some questionable choices and are a little bit late to do things like the Synaptic lathe, things go a little bit weird by the end. So I really do hope you enjoy, and of course these full playthroughs are sadly algorithm poison, so likes and comments always help out so much and really show that these long form videos are something you wish to see continued in the future, which I always love because it's why I'm here on YouTube, it's the content I love to create. So all that shilling out of the way, back to making the galaxy nanomachines, son. The arc furnace in our home system was an excellent proof of concept, a testament to our ambition and ingenuity. Now, in the Ancaster system, another furnace burns against the void. Far more than the resources this will provide, our work here has opened the door to projects of titanic size and scale. We can perceive further now, as if standing on the precipice of a vast horizon. The only limit is our own imagination. Oh, nice, we got tech progress for mega engineering, fantastic, but way too expensive for now. Some tech and some unity. Lovely. Wow, 23 extra minerals. But here's the problem, you see, so we have one mineral here, well, 1.25 because of the bonuses, but each of the mining stations will still cost us, I think it's like close to 1 energy each, which is a bit brutal. Let's have a quick look-see. So, you there, how much? Yep, upkeep is 1. So even with the bonuses from prosperity, and eventually they will be cheaper because of prosperity, I'm not sure if it's always going to be worth it. Maybe once they're more upgraded, I can imagine them being better. I've built a 3rd arc furnace already, and probably the last one for a while, because this system is insane. Look how big it is. Look at how many little 1 minerals there are now everywhere. And that's going to be the one I think I upgrade first. So once we upgrade it, it will increase mining station output by 50 rather than only 25, which I believe also works with those minerals. And it goes from 1 mineral to 2 as a base, at the cost of an additional 20 energy a month. That's a lot of energy. Really need to focus on that as soon as possible. In fact, can we afford? Yes, we can. Capacity, well, just about. That should keep us in the green for now. We are upgrading the arc furnace here right now. Just look at how many minerals this will affect, maybe making them efficient straight away. On top of that, let's take a quick look-see then at how... Okay, taking a quick look-see then at how good our adaptive frames are. So these 3 all have the bonus to energy, whereas these 10 do not. That really needs to be upgraded, because that is way, way too slow. I'm still certain there are ways of upgrading that later. It could be the machine assembly? Oh yeah, there it is. Pops with auto-modding traits optimized per month plus 2, so as we improve that, that will be faster. Okay, nice. So for now it's a little bit slow. Hopefully maybe our scientists can at least be using them? Yeah, it looks like every single scientist is at least getting the bonus research. Very cool to see. The arc furnace might be a little bit better than I originally gave it credit for. It's rank 2 now, and this system is now giving 85 minerals. That's because at rank 2, it's now uncovering deposits of 2 minerals and increasing all the station outputs by 50% at the cost of 40 energy. It doesn't, however, increase the cost of these little mining stations, so they're still stuck at only 0.9 each. The next level will increase the upkeep to 80 energy, but go from 2 minerals to 3, and then also add 1 alloy, with a plus 75% modifier. We want this as soon as possible. I'm going to save up the Unity for that, and I'm going to buy the alloys as soon as I have the Unity. I want that upgraded now. I never go with adaptability, but we're going with it this time because I really want to focus on the worlds as well, and this will give different bonuses to the colony designations, aka unification center, generator, all that kind of stuff will give us different bonuses, but really I wanted the extra habitability. That leads some of our worlds to go to 65%, which I think is just about worth it. So lots of worlds here, and it looks like we're stuck as well. I don't really know what this empire's like, but yeah. This one hates us. And is a fanatic militarist, so to say I'm a bit nervous is an understatement. On the upside, our economy is looking fantastic thanks to our arc furnaces, and we are upgrading the second one. So soon, this system's going to give us a lot of alloys. war is coming, and we should hopefully be ready. So, all of my original opinions of the arc emitter are horribly wrong. This system is now producing 141 minerals and 38 alloys at the cost of 80 energy plus the station, so around about 100 energy. The next upgrade is only another 20 energy, and it does only technically increase it all by 1 alloy per body, which is a lot of them, but it also is another 25% increase to the mining station output. That is going to be so many alloys. We are so ready to wage war. We now have a defense pact with the fanatic militarists, and because of that, they've backed down. The Plague Baron are now just kind of sitting there. So the Empire and the Empire. Great, nice and easy to say your names individually then. Well, we've rushed our military and rushed our economy, and because of that, we're actually able to attack this new empire straight away and try and turn it into our tributary, which I'm going to do. So you guys rush straight over there. I'll make some ground forces in the meantime. Oh, also, only a few more days left now until our new arc furnace is finished. Well, it's fully upgraded, I should say. So I think it's fully upgraded with this one, right? Okay, the fully upgraded arc furnace. Here's how it looks. Beautiful. Let the month play out so everything updates. The system is now producing 172 minerals and 95 alloys. Admittedly at the cost of a lot of energy, but still. For that many alloys, that is so worth it. So I didn't even consider this because it's so weird having a machine empire which isn't, you know, the usual single consciousness. But of course, migration treaties are fantastic for this empire, because now I'm getting the really quick build rate of our main species, which is all focused around really quick build rate, and the slower but still decent growth rate of our neighbours. Friendship is very beneficial for the machine empire. Meanwhile, the war continues to take over our second tributary. Once this is done, we can really start focusing more on things like tech, which we really need to do if we want to do all that endgame crisis stuff. The year is 2244. Our second arc furnace is now being upgraded to giving us alloys. I'm almost universally producing consumer goods and no alloys in our worlds, and we're about to try and break free towards the left here so we can grab the Skya world and grab all of these worlds over here. Ooh, tomb worlds. This is either going to be the tomb worlds which have nuked each other, or it's going to be the start of the broken colonies. Either way, fantastic. Either lots of worlds or a couple of pre-FDL, which I definitely need. Yeah, straight away, machine intelligence gets the plus 10%, then I believe there is a civic which further increases that. Same with corporate. If you go corporate and then the rushed space age one, which makes you a little bit weaker to begin with, you get more bonuses there as well. Ooh, look at that. Augmentation bazaars. Never seen that before, that looks awesome. Augmenters, and you can increase resources from cyborg pops. That's really powerful looking. Either way, there it is. The privatized exploration, which increases mining station output by 25%. So I'm thinking about placing another arc furnace, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to place it. This one looks pretty good. There's quite a few candidates. Now, I wish I knew where the limit was, because now we're finally researching the Dyson swarm, and as you can see, +3 to the swarm capacity. I don't know how to see the capacity for the arc furnace. Honestly, we have loads of good systems. Loads of systems absolutely surrounded by asteroids. It shouldn't be too long until I decide one. You know what? I might go with the one I looked at earlier, because I think it was just cooler looking, and that sometimes is important. This one here. Is there at least a molten world? If there's no molten world, there we are. Then we can't do it, but of course there is, so let's put down another arc furnace. So I don't know how many I can make. I'm thinking 4 then. If the regular Dyson sphere gives you 3 to begin with, I'm assuming that'll be the same for the arc furnace. We have 3 currently, that'll be the last one.
Time for some new chrome.
Oh, would you look at that? The Racket, some just joined us because of the traders, are now cyborgs. They're not psychic. Wow, so that's like 100% habitability everywhere? Well, that's great. That means every world we grab, then, we can at least grow them. Yeah, with the old-fashioned tomb world preference, that's a minimum of 60% habitability everywhere, and then with a cyborg, that's a plus 20, so that's 80% minimum before the bonuses of our empire kick in from research. So yeah, I think it's 100% to every single world. Well, that's pretty amazing, actually, and I definitely want those everywhere. So it's going to be an empire of synths and cyborgs. Well, not synths specific. Well, eventually synths, actually, yeah. So what I said before. Best boy Borin, hello, of course we'll hire you. I don't really have a space for you right now, but I swear I'll make some space for you later. I love Borin, look at his chubby little cheeks. We've upgraded almost everything, by the way. Yep, that's now also producing alloy. This, I sadly couldn't afford straight away, can I? Yep, there we go. This arc furnace is now going to its max level. Turns out, once one of them is producing alloy, it's very easy to afford the rest of them. I'm trying to find the perfect star, though, for the Dyson Swarm, because as far as I understand, how the Dyson Swarm works until it becomes the Dyson Sphere is it will simply increase the output of the star. So if it's a physics star, it will give you more physics research. I believe that's how it works. You know what? I am going to just put it here because I really want to know if that's correct. Or will it just start producing energy and then that just gets ignored? Again, I really don't know. So right now we stand at a point where most of their empires actually still have superior fleet power to us. We have allowed a lot of difficulty increases in this run. We have mid-game scaling, which has already completely run its course, so now they're all getting the cheaty bonuses, and we're also allowing the tech scaling, the version of tech scaling which makes the AI's tech count more than ours based on our difficulty. So they are rocketing ahead. Soon, we'll be able to attack the Empire, however, turning them into our third tributary, and potentially we'll even get the Empire on our side. We can also now start expanding quite aggressively towards the west, which is fantastic. So much so, I'm bringing these two back. I could have stopped them with what they were doing a second ago, because I really want all of this space. Once we go down our synthetic route, we are going very heavily into very wide play, so we definitely need this extra space. All of our funds at the moment are just going into upgrading our empire, not so much building up our military. That's why we're a little bit behind. We had that first military rush, then we kind of stopped. Okay, we've grabbed the synthetic age, and this has now started the situation transformation. This is basically as far as I got in a little test run I did. I wasn't using this origin, so I wanted this origin to be brand new for me as well, but I did see this occur. Despite the superiority of the machine form, our advancement has remained iterative at best. Self-imposed safety standards have resulted in stagnation. Conclusion: more drastic measures are required. Small-scale experiments suggest 3 distinct options for growth: nanotechnology and its variable form-shifting advantages, which is what we're going with today; modularity for individual units optimized with specific characteristics. I am curious what the advanced traits are within modularity. And then, virtuality, the abandonment of the physical form in favour of a digital existence. Definitely something I'll do in the future. Evaluation, process initialized. Analyze options, and deliberate. Okay, so if we go on here, then let's see what we can actually do. So we have our standard, which is monthly unity minus 10%. Error correcting, which is no monthly unity drain, but much slower. And then overclocked. Okay, yeah, let's just pay all of our unity and try and speed this along as fast as possible. And then save up Unity so we can start Nanotech as soon as we're finished with the situation. Then after that, the next trait we're getting is going to be the new crisis, Cosmogenesis. Guess who's been trying to read this for a straight 10 minutes? Preliminary research suggests electromechanical constructs called Nanite present a promising vector for advancement. While rare, they possess unique qualities, including programmability, self-replication, and the ability to form a swarm intellect. This technology offers unmatched transformational capabilities, but the requirements to support it remain unclear. Potential, significant. Scalable. Cost, unknown. It'll be our top priority, at minus 20% research. Yeah, some words dyslexionists don't like, you know? Not best friends with them. Here's our Dyson Swarm, currently at the minimum level. You can hardly even see it. The little satellites going around it, you can barely see how bright the star is. Well, let's upgrade it. So currently it's giving 500% extra star output, so we're getting 20 physics rather than the 5. So now I guess we'll upgrade it. It's 1,000 alloys, 2,500 unity, and this will make it go to plus 1,500%. Eventually, I believe these are required to make the Dyson spheres, I think. Okay, so I am in fact capped now with arc furnaces, so it is 3 you could normally have. We finally increased the size of our government, well, we are in a second. So now we have a new civic, which is meritocracy, because once again, I want to go with quite a generalist kind of empire, and this also allows me to put yet another scientist on our council, making 4 total scientists. In fact, what I could do is swap the government later, lose the Minister of State, then I can have the special governor position which Borin brings, and then the meritocracy one, and we can have a total of 5 scientists. That'll be a lot of extra research speed, which would be very, very, very welcome. Really need to build one of these Dyson arrays around a less bluey, whitey star. So that's jumped up to 20 energy, and I'm making my final one also around an energy star. So 2 energy stars, 1 science star. Living metal is viable when fused with mechanical bodies, allowing our units to alter their characteristics without compromising internal functions. This ensures maximum task-based compatibility. Large-scale deployment of the infused modular functions is projected to increase resource yields across all sectors. And yep, we are now also producing living metal. Fantastic.
This system's secrets are ours.
I'm guessing if I go down the route of nanites, I'll be able to make more nanites, and if I go with this, I'll be able to make more living metal. It certainly makes sense.
Another firewall cracked.
We are friends with everyone. Except for you. You're like the one empire which just hates us. And finally, we have virtuality, the one I was tempted to go with for this run until I realised how much nanites would fit the theme better. The most profound option is to transcend the physical, to embrace existence as pure data. This transformative virtuality possesses the promise of a seismic shift in our infrastructure's core. Drones bound to singular bodies become obsolete. Once fluid and virtualized, our data streams can seamlessly integrate with any vessel as necessary. Oh, so it's not necessarily holograms. Okay, I was thinking kind of Star Trek holograms like the Doctor in Voyager, where they can do work and are kind of physical, but this makes more sense. We can just jump into bodies and do the job. That makes more sense. Okay. Of course, top priority. Complete virtualization entails a number of issues, notably a surge in energy demands necessitated by the infrastructure adjustments. This is counterbalanced by several advantages, including a decline in the demand for physical housing. Management and efficiency of our drone workforce will be elevated as we move towards operational perfection. Out of all the available options, virtuality stands as the most transformative. Yep, definitely does. Ooh, and we get some energy and dark matter. Oh, I was thinking that virtuality didn't seem to have a resource attached to it compared to the other two, but yeah, okay, it's dark matter. Okay, so we can either extract all the valuable resources from our old shells as we become nanites, or we can simply bury the past and increase the situation speed. I'm going to be increasing that situation speed, thank you very much. Today, we have achieved what once seemed impossible, transforming our bodies into reconfigurable nanomachines. The process was not without difficulty, the transition far from easy, but whatever may have been lost along the way, our new existence offers endless possibilities. Okay, so now we have instantly activated Nanotech. Operating in unison, the tiniest things can topple the greatest of empires. Available buildings, the Nanite Research Facility, and available star-based building, the Nanite Harvester. What do I want straight away then? The research complexes will give us more nanites. I'm assuming we're going to have to use nanites for like everything interesting. Do our species have a new trait then, now that we're nanites? Just adding machines. All the usual stuff is there. I guess once we get some more stuff, that's when our people will be changed. At the moment, it seems like we're kind of just identical to how we were.
We've data mined this system dry.
So that'll be something we'll have to change up later, I guess. Sure. Here we are, the Nanite Research Facility. Nanotech researchers turn consumer goods and nanites into research points. This seems identical to regular research, honestly. What's the big difference here? Is it just the amount of jobs? Research jobs 2, research jobs 3. Oh, wow, I didn't see the engineering there. Never mind, it's way more engineering. How many nanites am I producing by default? 6. Okay, interesting. Let's put some of those down. Is there a limit per world, or... No, okay then, our homeworld's only going to have the nanite research facilities, I guess. Can I buy nanites? No, I can't. So I need to figure out how to make them. One of them was the harvester in space, wasn't it? Nanite harvester. Uncovers a size 0.1 nanite deposit on every rocky planet, moon, and asteroid that does not have any research station deposits. Oh, brilliant. We should put it over here then, all of these. As long as it doesn't mess up our regular harvest, then yes, let's start putting down some nanite harvesters. One of our Dyson swarms is now completed, and that's changed our star to give 95 science all by itself. Not bad. I'm curious to see what happens when we get the tech for other stuff, because again, I think that's how you make Dyson spheres now. Can we make a tech sphere? Molecular reconfiguration. Everything in the cosmos must gravitate towards the swarm. We embrace, then transform the galaxy in our form. Available buildings, Nanotech cauldron, and available research, nanite transformation. Which I believe will be an engineering one, right? Oh, that's just a nanite transfer. Okay, that's cool. I thought it'd be something more unique. Still cool. So what's the cauldron then? The cauldron, upkeep, 24 energy, 2 nanites, and it produces alloys without needing a job. Okay, that's not particularly great. Each world assimilated into the swarm expands our collective reach, enriching the fabric of our unified existence. So what exactly does subsumed world actually do then?
Game-changing.
Subsume world. Transfigure this world, creating one or more blockers that reduce the habitability and districts of this world, but provide more nanites for the flood. Ooh. Interesting. Well, I'm grabbing a couple of new worlds now. This one isn't finished yet, so let's do that. Okay, didn't expect that to be instant, honestly. Does it take time? It's reshaping this world. Okay, I'm going to do it to 2 of them, and the new one as well, and we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. Consume world has happened twice. Nanite harvest basin. It's producing 0.5 each. Oh, and by looks of things, it also gave us a burst. Did it? It's hard to tell. I'll double check next time. So can I actually stop that from happening? Now I'm consuming it. Can I stop consuming it? Oh dear. Well, that might just be what's going to happen to this world then. We've finally finished off Nanotech with nanite augmentations. We are each factory vessel, armament and shield, each a mere droplet in a vast deluge of our collective might, giving us some edicts, which we'll check out later, and then of course we have the finisher effect. Nanite harvesters, they're the ones on the stations, right? Yes, they are. Nanite harvesters yield improvements every 5 years, either increasing the size of nanite deposits, okay, so that's how we're going to get a lot more nanites, or creating nanite swarmer ships. Oh! I didn't even read that before, so we're just getting the ships for free. Interesting. This effect is limited by the size of the planet that deposits are created upon. Empire size from planet, minus 50%. We now have a new ascension perk, which is going to be our crisis. Insatiable curiosity. It is an axiom that science paves the way for progress. If we wish to fulfill our true potential, there can be no other path. Our technological mastery is self-evident, but far too much remains beyond our comprehension. The ways of the fallen empires, the power of the Leviathans, the mysteries of psionic insight. To glean meaning from the innards of reality requires a new kind of science, a new kind of computer. The Synaptic lathe represents a significant first step on the journey to unlimited knowledge.
New job in the situation log.
So that's the brand new megastructure where we plug in our populations. It was presented a lot in all the trailers. How much does it cost? I'm assuming expensive. Where are you? Am I blind? I could be blind, or perhaps it needs to update so we can actually see it. Or maybe I should learn to read. We need to research it first. Thankfully, it's not too expensive.
Upgrades incoming.
The mega corporation out of nowhere just requested to join us. They were keeping up with our fleet for a very long time. Our fleet has not really improved. Then suddenly they had a huge drop-off. I'm not entirely sure what just happened. Oh. Okay, so they went to war at some point and lost. Good.
Someone's trying
Well,
to connect.
not good, because that sounds mean. But good. Whoa, these cost a lot. Look at that initial cost. That is ridiculous. Okay, nano-connected generators, just plus 50% energy, plus 25% alloys, plus 25% navy capacity. Extra research speed. Okay, so that's all stuff we definitely want later on then. How am I so blind? Situations, I don't know why, it's like a blind spot for me, I always ignore them. So to stop the nanite consumption, we can simply show restraint. Stop consuming the world, even though it goes against our nature. You know what? No. I'm going to allow these 3 worlds to be destroyed because I want to see what happens. I'm the good guy here. Also now we should be able to make the Synaptic lathe. Okay, so it costs 150 influence and 15,000 alloys. So if we take a look-see at the Crisis, we get advanced logic. Well, that like static effect from the portal then was so weird. Anyway, so how exactly do we get advanced logic? We've got some already. Research new technologies, research applied infinity thesis, I guess we'll see that when it happens. Retain, oh brilliant, okay, so having vassals which like their sciences are helping. Employ neural chips, that's what we're going to be working on soon. Control a science nexus. Secure Galactic, okay, this is the weird one. Make the Galactic community adopt unchained knowledge resolutions. Isn't that just this? Send one of our leaders over. In fact, yeah, let's make a leader specifically for this then, if this is going to help. Sure. Send in one of our cyborgs. Yeah, unchained knowledge. Wow, no one likes these. That's really annoying. But okay then, we'll try and force those through. Ooh, okay, one of our worlds has become a nanite world. So this is what happens near the end then. Oh, cool, just like in the L cluster. Huh, doesn't really seem to change things for us. Oh, okay, never mind. Nanotech world. Building production plus 15%, building upkeep plus 10%, minerals from miners minus 35, nanites from minus plus 35. Oh, that's loads. Oh, that is brilliant. Okay, so nanite worlds remain under our control and are purely, well, almost purely for harvesting nanites. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love that. Glory to the swarm! So the issue is that our cyborgs aren't very happy here. Yep, even with the cyborg trait, that's only 38% habitability. Good to know. So we don't need to go overboard with this, though there is a lot of nanites per month. Maybe a couple more. I really want to go heavy with the nanites, so sure. 86% of the way into our newest megastructure, the Synaptic lathe, and it seems like we are now getting more nanites from every system where we've put down the harvesters. So that first time, all we got was additional nanites, which is great, because we're now on plus 60 a month, which is a much bigger improvement than what we had before. So much so, once we have the initial cost, we can turn on one of these. In fact, you know what, let's go with the extra research speed first. Then when we can, I'll probably just go with the extra energy, because we are struggling with that a little bit at the moment. We are using solely the nanite autocannons right now because it really boosts our fleet power. And it absolutely rips through shields. Excellent. We are now rank 2 in our Crisis. Ooh, unlocks the technology for the Fallen Empire escort ship. Advanced Fallen Empire buildings can now appear as tech. And we have the tech for the enigmatic decoder and dark matter propulsion. Ooh, in addition to this, plus 10% research. Beautiful. I'm sure that has nothing to do with one of the other empires now disliking us a bit more. As we start to unravel the very galaxy itself. Where's the lathe? Oh, there it is. Wasn't it showing up on the map? Oh, it's classed as a world! And look, our very first neural chip. So, the Synaptic lathe, how does this work then? We can ascend it, which is interesting. Yeah, so it's acting like a world. Processing unit. As I burp into the microphone there, let's ignore that. So the processing district increases the maximum amount of districts along with housing and amenities. Okay, our stability is low because our people are unhappy. I'm guessing being a computing component isn't exactly the most happy thing ever. Cognitive overload, minus 33%. Okay. So let me just have a quick bit of reading and I'll figure out exactly how this is working. Okay, so the more neural chips we have, the more resource we get, and the more efficient each of the neural chips is. Essentially, it feeds into itself. However, for every neural chip, we also lose our populations faster. Essentially, that overload will kill them eventually. The stability is important, but it seems like maybe some of the buildings later on can make us more stable. Yep, things like the neural stabilizer, that requires building slots, which we simply need the districts for. The neural gates will give us more research per chip, whereas the other one will give us more advanced logic. So one of them speeds up the crisis, the other one just gives us extra tech. Right now, I want to see what happens if we go down the tech route, though I'll probably upgrade that later. So straight away, I'm going to build 2 of the neural gates. These will increase how much physics, how much every research from our neural chips. Then, I'll start to feed it some of our population, although we can always just throw people in from a certain market as well. Okay, good to know. We're also about to get a new tributary, so that'll be way more energy, so that'll be great for us. Ooh, we could steal their Dyson array. I wonder what that is. Is that energy or what? Do I have anything else of value? Well, actually, I am already claiming that, aren't I? Fantastic, good. So I'll get 2 more Dyson arrays as well by doing this. Wonderful. I also believe I was wrong earlier when I said that the Nanite research facilities were increasing how much the upkeep was the more I had. I was just mixing up the upkeep of the building, which is 1, and the upkeep of the jobs, which is over 3. I thought that the 1 had turned into 3. There's the class 4 singularity. All will serve in the end. Even though they're an overlord, they were weakened by war against the Federation and have now joined us. We take the weak and mold them into our own. Synaptic Sustainer. Advanced Cogitator. Oh, so these are for the Synaptic Lathe. Empire Modifier. Whoa, excuse me. Empire Modifier. Amenities minus 50. Resources from jobs minus 35%. I'm assuming that's meant to be, modifier to the world? Because that is very, 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 very bad and not worth it at all. So, per neural chip, it increases navy capacity and ship experience gain. Yeah, I doubt that's going to affect all of the resources on all of my worlds, otherwise you'd never ever build this. So that's changing your tech and everything else into making this for military. The Sustainer increases housing and amenities. Actually, that would be really useful. Because we're already at basically minus amenities, and that's only with this small amount of chips. Honestly, we want way more than this. Oh, we've already reached enough... Okay, advanced logic. I'm actually getting faster than I expected. So, we can now activate danger. At the moment, fallen empires are already humiliating us every chance they can, so we get less influence and happiness and everything else, and everyone already hates us. It's actually very quick how much they really, really dislike us. It seems like we're pretty much even for research new technologies and neural chips. That's where all of our advanced logic is coming from. A little bit, I imagine. Actually, never mind. All 3 of them having these vassals have also really fed into this. So the next level, we get the Enigma battlecruiser. That's the battleship version of the Fallen Empire fleet. So after that, I'm going to go to war with the Imperium, which are still keeping up with us, by the way. In terms of tech, they're not, but everything else, they are. Hopefully with this, we'll end up breaking them. Okay, so we need to do this tech then, which is, here. It's at this moment that Lathrix has realised that the Class 3 Singularity isn't unique per planet, you can have multiple of them. And that also goes for the Class 4 Singularity, its upgraded form. How much is dark matter per one? Not that much, 40 per unit. These have an upkeep of just less than 1 and produce 75, in addition to 6 technician jobs. The upgraded version keeps that only 1 dark matter upkeep, goes to 200 energy per month, just passively, and has 6 technician jobs. So it doesn't increase the amount of technicians, but just gives an extra 100 energy for just the upgrade cost. Okay, we need some more proper energy worlds. Most of our energy is already coming from these, and we need to really double down on that. Also, consume more worlds. I want as many nanites as possible. Currently, we are producing 163 per month, and I want absolute swarms of the swarmers. Thank you, other empires, for continuously feeding us your people. For a fee, of course. Oh, that is very cool. So these are the battleships, then, from the Fallen Empires, and I didn't realise they had a double size X weapon. Well, you're instantly my favourite thing ever. I'm actually going to keep lasers once rather than going with the nanites, because I do want to start taking out some Leviathans very soon. I know there's the Ether Drake nearby, and I think the Matriarch, since I do want that burst of unity. The problem is, right now with the autocannons, which deal terrible damage versus armor, we would get absolutely ripped to shreds. Do I really only have Scout Wings? Well, for now, this is pretty much what I want. Yeah, just a mix of everything, that's fine. Just give me at least some of the repair systems from the nanites, and I will start building a load of you to go against the next enemy. Maybe I should go with the particle lance then, rather than the arc emitter. Yeah, if we're specifically going to be hunting down Leviathans for a short while, let's go with that. We'll swap them for the arc emitters later, potentially. We now have access to dark matter deflectors. So far, honestly, this crisis has been worth it just for the tech it gives you. So we need 18,000 for the next level. Wow, we really need to start getting these things done faster. So, can I go to war yet with you? Or are we still at truce? Still at truce. As soon as that truce breaks, I need to go to war. So what we can do is grab all their population and just throw them all into the Synaptic lathe. Our harvesting swarms have grown and assembled into new ships. Okay, so now we're starting to get the ships, now they've upgraded, so I guess this is the maximum they can upgrade, so I think I was right earlier. Eventually, once they've stopped being able to simply add more and more nanites, they then just give you the ships. Interesting. They're a little bit weak at the moment, since I have just changed them, so that they're now using lasers, because we want to burn through some armor. Still, that's pretty cool.
Some new chrome.
It's not all that many, but yeah, sure. 34 at a time, though I have added loads of these later, so I guess I will get some more ships once all of those have also matured. Currently, I'm getting 317 nanites every single month. I'm now also starting to expand again, trying to grab any worlds I can see, because I want these worlds to become nanite worlds. So I've been trying to think, how are we going to use the swarmers in the future? The problem with them is they have incredibly low armor and even worse hull points. They're essentially one-shot kills. The whole point of them, of course, is in the name. You get loads of them very quickly, and as we get more worlds, that's only just becoming more and more insane. But I don't want them to get knocked out straight away, so what I'm thinking is, if we give them the carrier computers, they stay right at the back, and then use just strikecraft. They're not very powerful, a single strikecraft, but still. That way they're not being killed straight away, and they're going to provide a lot of point defense support for the rest of the fleet. How long range are torpedoes? Are any of them decent range? Oh, actually, we could go with that. Still sticking with the carrier idea. Because if we go with the torpedo option, we're just going to run right in. We could potentially lob some of these proton launchers. Sadly, the armored torpedoes are way too short range. And then that's what we could use. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to do. A mix of these and just these single hangar bays. So here's something I didn't really pay attention to, and I really wish I did a bit earlier. Nanotech worlds, the very first bonus there, are building production plus 15%. Which means the singularities give plus 15%. We were right. If there was ever any doubt about our work, it is now being put to rest. Gravity can be used to bend the rules of reality, but could the right adjustments break them completely? So far, our experiments have been conducted on the smallest scale, and any edits were quickly erased as reality reverted to its default setting. We now suspect that this is simply a problem of size. By applying energetic paradoxes at a far grander level, we can drastically reduce the cost of such edits. At least in our dimension. No matter the risk, there is no turning back now. Only those who dare to break the rules will ever be able to rewrite them. So we are now rank 4, Calamity. We can make the Paradox Titan, the Golden Age, Extraordinary Fallen Empire buildings can now appear as research options, unlocks the technology for Tachyon Lances, we already have that, and Artificial Dragon Scales, that's neat. And then finally, Rule Breaker. Unlocks the Rules of Reality technology that will bring us closer to our goals. Also unlocks the Applied Infinity Thesis, that's over here to get more of the logic, repeatable technology that can yield considerable amounts of advanced logic. Monthly physics research increased by 10%. Whoa, we need 45,000 for the next one, but that will give us the Void Voyager, Void Voyager, which will give us the Horizon Needle, which was in a lot of the trailers. Arcane Fallen Empire buildings appear as research options, and unlocks the technology for the nanite repair system. Okay, we already have all that because we are in fact nanites. So after this, we can finally do one of these, the Science Unchained Knowledge options. No one seems to really want to go with these, which is a shame, because our Crisis wants us to do this, but it's just very difficult to get people behind us. I wonder if that'll make people like us a bit more, because right now everyone hates us. The only reason that they're not attacking is just because we are strong enough to fend them off, and they are fighting each other. This is one giant federation who's devouring everything nearby. There's a vassal group over here, and everyone hates each other as well, so it's a constant state of war. If they were all on the same side, we'd just be dead. Simple as that. Oh look, the machine strike craft. First time I'm actually seeing them. That was easier than expected. But that just gave us one of the best relics, the Ether Drake Trophy, which will increase stability and happiness for all of our worlds. Oh, look at how much tech we get each time we do that. It is beautiful. Okay, lovely. And of course, we will encourage that. Let's find some more Leviathans. There's a Void Spawn over there. Not the best one, but any of them will do, because they give me that lovely burst of unity when they're finished. Also need to grab these systems over here. Thank you very much. Whoa, okay, so now every 5 years we make 84 of the Swarmers. Sure, they're weak, but that's a lot of ships, with thankfully no upkeep. Okay, so our final tradition, really it's between supremacy and domination. Domination because the end is empire size from pops, minus 10%. Pretty much all of our empire size is coming from our populations. Minus 10% right now would be like minus 80, which is pretty good at making all of our tech a lot cheaper. Right now it's stupidly expensive. Supremacy, on the other hand, well, it's supremacy. Big, scary fleets in it. I think I'll go with domination. I also want a bit more influence, honestly, and more experience with the council. Yeah, let's go with domination. It's more fun.
Agenda available.
Oh, Void Spawn. I thought it was the black hole creature, the Terror. Oh, we just finished off our very first Rules of Reality. Super light. One of our reality experiments has made light significantly faster. Of course it did. The resulting increase in solar energy output is good, but we fear that there will also be some long-term consequences for our colonies. Things will return to normal eventually, but we may have to prepare for the worst until then. Our relations with other empires have deteriorated. Obviously, I just changed light speed. Empire size minus 50% for a while. Extra energy weapon damage, extra energy credits, extra shield hit points. Okay, well that's beautiful timing. Oh, look at that tiny empire size. Everything just became so much cheaper. Melt everything.
New job in the situation log.
The Science Nexus is finally being built. It took me ages to find the tech, and our mega shipyard is basically done. So once that's done, we can then go with Galactic Wonders. And I want to see just how we make these Dyson spheres.
New augments research.
Oh dear. Who'd have thought there'd be consequences? Oh, but we can do it again. Obviously, we're doing it again. Intense heat. The increase in sunlight exposition could have been better for our colonies, which are progressively heating up. Things are manageable for now, but will likely keep escalating over time. Every owned planet, scorching heat modifier added for 12 months. Minus habitability, devastation. Oh, is it affecting everyone's worlds as well, not ours? I'm burning planets alive. Okay, too hot to handle. As the temperature of our colonies continues to climb, it becomes harder and harder to sustain them, and unrest is spreading as living conditions deteriorate. If things do not change soon, we fear that entire regions will become uninhabitable in the long run. Minus 30% habitability, plus 50 devastation. Two of our worlds just became... No, one became a desert, one became barren. I just lost a colony. The worst of the galactic heatwave is over. While still high, the speed of light has almost returned to normal. We only need to hang on a little longer until the extra energy has dissipated. On the upside, yeah, it does seem to be affecting every single world. Although we can't see the debuff, every world I've looked at has this massive amount of devastation. So we've basically just brought the entire galaxy to a standstill for a while. The next Infinity Thesis just shrunk one of our planets. Okay. Okay, we can start building... Oh, I didn't even consider that. Yeah, of course, you can't build a Dyson sphere in a system where you have colonies. Please say the science one isn't... Okay, good. I want to see what happens here then. Do we get tech or no? So it just turns straight into the regular energy version then. On the upside though, the initial version is instantly giving us energy rather than it just being a frame, so that's pretty nice. Oh, and of course we can't build more than one Dyson sphere because this isn't gigastructural engineering, which occasionally I have to remind myself. We have a lot of unemployed people now because of all the problems we've just caused. On the upside, we have a solution to that. It's called the lathe. So anytime I see unemployed people, they're going to contribute to society in a very specific way by being put into our megastructure. Isn't that nice for them? How many do we have now? I was just doing that earlier. We now have 61 people currently here, giving about 1,000 into every single research and 207 into our crisis. We are very close to activating this. Not going to activate it straight away though, because I feel like things are going to attack me and I'm not really ready with everything currently still having major devastation. Would you look at that? I was massively underestimating the power of the lathe when you just put loads and loads of neural chips in. I knew that they were feeding off each other and increasing the power, but I didn't know it was by that much. Ooh, we're just about to finally finish domination. Fantastic. That'll lower our empire size a bit. So what I've been doing now is I've been feeding... It sounds mean, because it is. I've been feeding workers into the lathe as well. Essentially, I want my world to be filled with specialists and rulers, and then any excess population I'm now going to feed into the lathe. That'll decrease our empire size, whilst also giving us loads of extra tech. Yeah, that kind of goes a bit crazy, doesn't it? 5,000 to every single tech. If you have the energy to afford this, the resources are insane. I'm also going to change this now over to pure tech, because I think we've reached... Yep, we've reached the existential threat level. If we want to activate it. And yes, I am doing another Rules of Reality, because I'm just insane. We have succeeded fundamentally in making a precise but widespread edit to reality. We have rounded down the mathematical constant of pi, making calculating it much more manageable. Of course, the resulting changes have thrown off some of our mathematical and scientific models, but it is only temporary, and everything will return to normal soon. Megastructure build speed increased, ship speed build increased, science from jobs basically annihilated. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Incoming.
I just threw several worlds worth of populations into the lathe. We're now producing 12,000 of every single research. This will increase as I increase the ascension tier. Really should have done this earlier. Yep, especially since we're nanites and we can now survive off the singularities we build on our nanite worlds very easily. Really should have done this earlier. We could have zoomed ahead in terms of tech. It cannot be, and yet it is. No matter what we try, our edits to reality remain stubbornly temporary. This universe is simply too old for the changes to take hold. But in the midst of frustration, there may be times of opportunity, and a new experiment has yielded unexpected results. While we have long known about other dimensions, the means to travel there reliably have eluded us. Not anymore. Younger universes dwell within the infinite gravity of a singularity. These have proven far more flexible. We have the technology to dispatch probes into a black hole. Yep, just knew we needed the black hole. Once across the event horizon, they will begin to apply pressure, bending these youthful planes to our will. That sounds so creepy. Where space folds into eternity lies the door to another universe that holds another, younger universes too. Deep down in the abyss of the multiverse, we will find a malleable reality to shape into something extraordinary. It must bend, for we will not break. So that gives us access to the final stage. Unlocks the nascent universe's technology, which will allow us to build a horizon needle and fulfill our goals. Memory and creation, arcane fallen empire buildings can now appear as research options, and nanoswarms, and yeah, we saw that before. Okay, cool. Oh, the Hyperforge, I know you. Okay, so are these the new buildings, I think? Man, we are producing so much tech, it is beautiful. Nourishment complex, don't really care about that too much. Oh yeah, we're about to be raided, aren't we? Do I care enough to defend ourselves? Not really. Fleets, please get in position. Shall I feed more to the Synaptic lathe? No, not just yet. Our energy is a bit low, though I am building loads more of these singularities right now, so that'll solve itself fairly soon. Oh, that's the autoforge I was thinking of. Love the artwork on the new buildings. All very alien, which makes me very, very happy. So these are only nanites, the ones currently fighting here, and yeah, they're doing an alright job. Loads and loads of swarms. Honestly, they aren't too bad if they use Strikecraft, because they're a size 2, so they're the size of a destroyer, so you can get 4 of them for the size of a battleship. So 4 Strikecraft slots for a battleship, obviously it's nowhere near as good as a battleship, but these are almost free. In fact, some of them are, but still. And they do tend to stay far enough away, they avoid damage, so that's pretty nice. Amenities plus 100, entertainer jobs plus 4, sorry, plus 6. It's a shame we don't have a research version of these. A total of 70,000 research now per month. Yep, gonna be getting all these pretty quickly then. I just sacrificed another 2 worlds to the lathe. Another world fed. 121,000 research a month. And killing 5 of our populations as well. That is just insane.
Game-changing upgrades incoming.
We're probably gonna have to do repeatables now. Oh my god, every 2 months. That is... yeah, so worth it. Because as well, I've now unlocked a building which will further increase our population growth by a true margin. I wish I was doing this earlier. I could have fast-forwarded everything. Where is that building? Because I can't find buildings now. There's so many and they all look similar to me because they have the same style. There we go. Robot Manufacturing Nexus. It gives an additional +4 to our build speed of our populations. So you know what? We may as well keep feeding our people to their greater good. Our repeatables are going to be just every month at this rate. Okay, so what's that then? Let's wait until the end of the month. It's going to be over 150,000. There we go, 166,000 per month.
Time for some new chrome.
That may be the highest tech I have seen ever. 188,000 research per month, and yet the next Rules of Reality still takes 4 months total. Every other repeatable is basically instant. I don't actually know who you are, Provisioners, but I've just started making a load more battleships, in addition to loads more of our swarmers, so that probably won't last too long. Biogeneration Institute. Increases leader lifespan every time we build one of these. Nice. In addition to 6 medical worker jobs. If we were the mega corporation which focuses on that stuff, that could be really good. Research now at 252,000. This thing is insane. Oh, this time we didn't get any negatives. We got the reality computer, though, which is pretty awesome, which is from one of the precursors. Nice. And, of course, a big old chunk of advanced logic, not that we really need any more of that at this point. So this is kind of the max we can do at the moment. Guess we could add another Synaptic sustainer. Rather than this one, which is more to do with upkeep. So it would end up costing more energy, but then we'd have more housing and more amenities, which would help our stability stay higher. Because I just threw loads more people in, and it only just about increased the amount we're actually getting. So a little bit later, we now have 268,000 research per month. Let's ignore that for a second. Our experiments had an unexpected effect. While studying other dimensions and the means to travel to them, we accidentally shifted our ships into hyperspace. Partially. Against all odds, their situation appears to be stable and non-lethal. As a positive side effect, they can now move a lot faster than ever before. So it seems like once you've done some of those rules of reality effects, we're getting these just a bit more time-positive ones now. So the Horizon Needle requires 50,000 alloys. Now thankfully the last thesis I just got just gave me 10,000, which is great, but obviously nowhere near enough. We're getting almost 1,000 per month now. I'm starting to levy more from my vassals. I'm going to start converting my worlds into Forge worlds, maybe sacrificing less of them to the Synaptic lathe. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, it seems like now every single Infinity thesis is just giving us resource 100% of the time. Okay, so maybe it isn't always random resources. Our most recent edits to reality have changed some essential properties of starlight. A change in wavelength has shifted most of their light outside of the visible spectrum, throwing chaos into navigation and stargazing, to name a few. These somewhat embarrassing changes will revert in a few years. We have learned a lot. Plus 30% to monthly physics research, plus 3 to cloaking strength, and then less sensor range and stability. Once again, I love the fact this is affecting everyone, it's just so funny. Also, we've just opened the Crystal Rift so that we can go and find the Unbidden in the centre of the galaxy. Well, the Unbidden's cousins, anyway. Hopefully we can make them into a vassal, because that would be nice. We should be okay. We are using quite a few laser weapons, but we are also focusing a lot on strikecraft and shields. So we're pretty okay versus the Unbidden at the moment. Hello there. Okay, I've already gone over this in a previous video, so I won't really go over this too much. But essentially, these are the Unbidden, but the good versions, and we have to protect them. At the end, we can either just let them go or try to vassalize them for huge bonuses. Obviously, we'll try and vassalize them when the time comes. I'll leave my resources, my fleets there for the time being. Are these all nanites? When did all you get there? That's a lot of nanites. Yeah, so at the moment, my nanites are all using strikecraft, which is pretty nice. There is a researcher one. Well, obviously, I want the Quantum Innovation Nexus. Although, most of my tech is just coming from our lathe at the moment. Oh, the swarm is a size 1. I always thought they were size 2 for some reason.
New augments researched.
As long as we keep on protecting our future vassals, this should be nice and simple. Look at how many strikecraft we have. That is absurd. Also, I love these battleships. Just being able to use the Fallen Empire models just makes me happy. Okay, so, first of all, we are now getting, every 5 years, 138 swarmers for free. Which is pretty darn lovely. Then Shroud tiers. The dimension known as the Shroud permeates the flip side of our galaxy. Several factors make it very interesting. There is a bird currently yelling at me on my window. Anyway, makes it very interesting to study, including its plasticity, hypothetical connection to black holes, and how different reality is. During an experiment meant for us to peer into it, we accidentally caused many subspace ruptures in our galaxy, causing several hostile shroud spirits, oh god, we've done that, to be let into our dimension. The barrier between our worlds appears to have been significantly thinned by our actions. Things should return to normal after a while, but it's best not to poke too many holes in that direction. Extra leader experience gain, less shroud cooldown, damage versus shroud spirits minus. Okay, so it'd be more difficult to get rid of them for a while. They tend not to be too strong, honestly, so send in the swarm. Let's try and get rid of this one here. Looks like we got pretty lucky. Not many spawned in our territory. They spawned everywhere else, though, which is lovely. I lost a few swarmers because, again, they have practically no health, so a single cloud lightning hit and they're dead. But still, victory nonetheless. They are slowly getting some armor, but yeah. With a base of only 100, there's only so much repeatables can really do for them. Yeah, so it turns out I didn't actually need to go to the black hole. Now, thankfully that didn't slow us down, so it didn't really cause any problems, but the Horizon Needle is built over your capital. And so it begins. I don't know if I'm going to have to keep on upgrading this afterwards or not, but I'll definitely save up alloys until then. So far, there has been a steady peace. The empires have not awoken. I'm still able to keep the two major factions at bay, but it's being just about strong enough to hold them off. And with all those repeatables, the nanites are now scary enough that even if I just spam those, we should keep on increasing our fleet power enough to not be overwhelmed. In theory. Meanwhile, most of our fleets are just chilling here, awaiting the all-clear by our new friends. Our most recent experiment on shaping reality caused us to slightly reduce the mass of carbon atoms. In most cases, this reduction proved insignificant, but at large enough scales, models predict that it could cause some trouble on some celestial bodies. Pessimistic models even suggest that habitable worlds that already had low gravity might experience losses in atmospheric density. So that's going to affect two of our worlds, apparently. Oh dear. So that's one of them. Oh yeah. Low gravity. Wonder what's going to happen soon then. It's both very mean and very satisfying just sacrificing a world like this. Why do we need tech worlds when we have the beauty of the lathe? I just need to make sure to always keep enough people to work our roboticist jobs. Plus 28 a month right now on those robots. That is insanely quick population build.
New augments research.
We're now getting 1,000 nanites a month, which means we can build manually 2 swarmers every single month. So what I've started to do is basically sacrifice all of our worlds, reduce them to only a few, able to build more of our robots, and then we start to devour those worlds. I want all of our worlds to become nanite worlds. We're on almost 2,000 per month, and our nanite fleets can now reach 203,000 per fleet. It isn't much, especially this late in the game. We should be looking at 500k plus minimum, really, for a tech rush like this, but often we get these for free. And what we don't get for free, we can make very cheap, and they have no upkeep. If we have a fleet of literally thousands of these, that could be our fleet to defend us. And it would be incredibly fun, and very, very silly. So going heavy into the nanite swarms. Plus, the less people we have, the less of the empire size we have, which is great, so our tech carries us further. Now, this is a fleet I like. So the nanites here obviously are a lot stronger. You can see they're almost 400,000, and it's because our leader just got the Shield of the Empire trait. So this is our protective nanite swarm. Each of them now have 315 shields. It isn't much, but it's better than 0. Okay, so one more bit of tech, going a little bit mad here. Our latest experiment was only partially successful. While we managed to enact it upon the entire galaxy, it had yet to have the anticipated results. The modification in material properties of our alloys has made them more brittle and prone to cracks. The issue is temporary, and everything will be fixed in a few years, but it will increase costs until then. On top of that, we have now got our newest vassal, the Formless, and although at first glance they seem pretty much worthless, what they're actually doing passively is decreasing the cost of all of our physics research by 50%. Which means, in terms of at least physics, we're pretty much going to have instant repeatables from now on, which is great, as long as we can keep enough people in the Synaptic lathe. Speaking of which, anyone available for purchase? Yes, they were. Yeah, these different bits of research just do such random things. Now it's less food upkeep and more research speed into biology. The Horizon Needle is finished. Harnessing the power of a carefully maintained singularity, it can edit the flow of gravity around itself and will, without a doubt, be able to transverse a black hole when the time comes. However, before attempting this, we must embark our entire nation. We will visit each of our colonies to gather the local population. Afterwards, we can travel back to our capital and arrange the final details of our exodus. We must be cautious, for the Horizon Needle is not a military ship and must be defended at all costs. Its loss would be a terrible blow. So, embark population, I guess? What a cool design.
Time for some new chrome.
Oh, okay. How about I actually do the thing? Am I going to have to send all of our population, or is it just a percentage?
Game-changing upgrades incoming.
Takes a while. Oh, I'm hoping not every single colony, otherwise that's going to take ages, and definitely has a chance of the endgame crisis spawning. Thankfully, we do have enough fleet power. We can definitely fend off the first few waves of pretty much any crisis. Okay, so yeah, we did just lose that colony. So then, the solution really is fairly simple. Before I get to a world and actually embark the population, send all the population over to the Synaptic lathe. I'm hoping that doesn't count. If it does, we'll just visit there last.
Time for some new chrome.
It'll be fine. Actually, it should be fine, because our economy should be propped up by our vassals, since every time we lose a world, all of our costs are also vanishing. Very, very worst, we might need to lose some of our regular non-nanite fleets. Which should be fine, because our nanites are now plenty powerful. Saying nanites makes me stammer like 50% of the time. It's very annoying, considering our choices. 315k tech. As I abandon each of these worlds, the lathe is becoming more and more fearsome. Some of the more generic ones, the stable successes, are actually fantastic. Just plus 10% research. Nice. Would have loved that earlier. The spiritualists have awoken. However, they are inferior to us and we continue to build, so not too scared. And if they attack us, I'm using arc emitter battleships and strikecraft. That kind of count as Fallen Empire ships. Meanwhile, the spiritualists' rivals have also woken up, the chroniclers, who we're actually at war with currently, which is interesting. Oh, was it not you who woke up? It was the other one. Well, either way, the rivals woke up. There we go, the reclaimers. So at any point, the war in heaven could activate, and I'm really not worried. Just my regular fleets here, my regular nanite fleets, are now at 700,000. The fleets which are led by a Shield of the Empire are now at 1.8 million. Yes, it's all in strikecraft, but that's more than enough to deal cataclysmic damage against the enemy. And hopefully, now even survive some very, very light fire. So it really does seem like it's just kept on giving us more and more and more nanites every single time, because now we get a truly ridiculous amount of these swarmers every 5 years. Yep, I definitely moved the other fleets out of the way. These were all new. Like 1 million fleet power just given to us every 5 years. Admittedly, all in the form of very vulnerable swarmers, but when you have that many, it starts to become pretty powerful. We're now visiting the last of our normal colonies, then we'll find out if we need to also evacuate the lathe. Okay, there we go. Sure, status quo's fine. Colonies embarked. We have successfully embarked the population of our colonies. We must now journey back to our homeworld to make the final preparations before we leave this universe behind. Let's jump straight there then. I'm hoping it will instantly teleport us to the black hole, because once we have no worlds, our resources are going to be really stretched. Though saying that, we do have the Dyson Sphere and a number of Dyson Swarms feeding us. So hopefully, once everyone's been devoured here in the Synaptic lathe, it should be fine. In theory. Look at how many swarmers we have. They're almost invisible because of how small they are, until you see them next to the sun or something bright in the background. Then suddenly you realise the horror that is my home system. Just countless swarmers. I guess to get my energy back as well, I could just delete the battleships over here. Then all we have is swarmers. Yeah, I don't care.
Strap in.
You know what, we don't really care about tech anymore either. Okay, start doing autos. Where is... there it is. Horizon Needle making its very slow final trek across the home system. It just jumped, so it's moving slower. Embarking the final people of our homeworld. I now realise I never actually named our homeworld, it's just the auto one. But still, surrounded by nanites. Filled with nanites. Everything is nanites. In fact, a lot of the worlds I've left behind, I guess, are still probably Nanite worlds? Yep, they definitely are. Once this galaxy is wiped clean and a new empire begins the game. What a weird section of galaxy. The remnants of fallen empire tech, mixed in with nanites, mixed in with a population that seems to have vanished, just leaving no trace of their existence. That'd be pretty neat. Okay, let's see what happens once we hit 100%. Population embarked. Preparing for an exodus on such a scale is a daunting task. Our entire administration is working to smooth the process and ensure nothing critical is forgotten. Surprisingly, a segment of our population has elected to stay behind. They will ensure the continued existence of our kind in this universe. Technology and supplies have been provided, enough to help them survive once we are gone. That's neat as well. Now I think I just need to get to the black hole, right? Yep, dive into the black hole. Thankfully, I have hyper relays the entire way, and we can jump. Ooh. Everything is ready. We are cleared to proceed to a black hole. Our crossing... Oh, we can already go to the center, can't we? Ooh. Sorry, I've been playing this all day and my mind started to mush a bit then. I kind of read ahead a little bit. Okay, everything is ready. We are cleared to proceed to a black hole. Our crossing of the event horizon will not be painless for the rest of the galaxy. Oh dear. But we have done all we can to ensure our capital and its surroundings will be well protected from any temporal or gravitational disturbances. We must now choose the gateway for our journey. Which of the galaxy's black holes we wish to journey through? Most should be easy enough to reach. But if we want to enter the supermassive black hole at the galaxy's center, we must first overdrive our jump engines and calculate a suitable vector. I mean, that seems way cooler, right? We must reach the center.
New job in the situation log.
We need to calibrate the jump drive with the horizon needle and calculate the exact coordinates that will allow us to... Okay, so where do we need to go for that? Okay, move over to our star. It's surprising that we didn't end up in an all-out war like the normal Crisis. I guess this one is a lot more... Well, it's less aggressive, isn't it? It's not hostile, xenophobic, anything like that. It's more just... How far can we go? Sorry if problems occur. Well, it's on its way. The approach to the black hole is not without apprehension. Our resolve is increasingly tested as we pass the accretion disk of the singularity. Editing modules engaged, the horizon needle begins to rewrite reality. Armor plates fall away before the ship asserts that the singularity's pull has no purchase on its hull. With each minute edit, each snip of the spatial fabric, the needle's power causes coils to form in spacetime. Like a pebble thrown into a pool, the ensuing ripples spread into rings. In the end, vast waves crash against the galaxy. We can only hope our capital is protected well enough. We have no choice but to trust the needle to pierce the heart of this black hole. Oh! Oh, interesting. Look at that. It didn't actually end the game. Well, it didn't end the game for everyone. It seems to have absolutely ruined some systems. After the violence of the crossing, the other side is quiet. An unnatural stillness surrounds us. The needle is damaged, but no critical components were lost. Between one moment and the next, telemetry reports begin to flood in. The mist and creeping shadow, a haze permeates the fabric of this place. The feeling is familiar, a feverish energy rippling with sonic potential. We have entered the Shroud. There are powers here that remain far beyond our own. Already they are aware of us. In the shifting miasma, strange shape bear omens of death. Our only hope is that reality here is thin and prone to tears. With a swift edit, we open a transient doorway to take us elsewhere. As the horizon needle dives, we finally understand the length of the road ahead. At last. Oh, I kind of wish we knew a little bit more where they finally ended up. I also love the fact it didn't destroy everything at the end, just a lot. How very, very odd. Also, it's saying our homeworld was the archaeology project in the end, which was not the case. So if I just press continue, can I just select my empire, please? So I had to just go on regular observer mode, because it's kind of interesting what they've done. For some reason, it's turned our empire into a fallen empire. So this is a planetary capital, which is fine, but as you can see, it's completely changed what buildings we had and everything else, and also turned us into the archaeology project. But then if we go to another one of our worlds, Unification Center, Forge World, but I'm sure a second ago I saw something a lot more interesting, which is Fallen Empire Colony. And once again, just Fallen Empire jobs, like the Hedonists. It's kind of bizarre, it's like it fast-forwarded this empire. This is what remains of our once glorious nation, now that the vast majority have left. Eventually, they became this, a fallen empire with their megastructures surrounding them, living hedonistic lives, protected by swarms upon swarms of nanites. Really interesting. So with that, thank you so much for watching, I really do hope you've enjoyed. Of all the DLC releases, this may have been my favourite experience in years. Honestly, this DLC seems fantastic, and we haven't even scratched the surface of a lot of the stuff. I will be back soon to play through with the new Synth Queen Crisis end, since I want to see what that's all about. Likely, we are going to become a machine cult. Well, a cybernetic cult, since that also favours siding with the Queen, which apparently is an option. Siding with the Endgame Crisis. You know we're gonna do that. So if you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff, helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows up from the depths. Is it Stellaris, a series you wish to see continued in the future? I need some sleep. Goodbye!